Hello, algebra students. Welcome back yet again. Okay. Flip grade question of the day. Go do it. It's good fun. It's fun. YouTube lesson you've already found if you're watching this now. Pause the video and try this problem in your notes, and then unpause the video to do it with me. Okay. Solve the equation using square roots. Round your solutions to the nearest hundredth. Okay. We can indeed do that. So remember that to do this, we are trying to get x by itself. So here, we will need to add 30 to both sides. That gets rid of this. Now let's write it again over here where we have more space. 3x squared equals 34, because we put the 30 and the 4 together. Gives us the 34. Okay, and now we are dividing by 3 on both sides. I don't know what 34 divided by 3 is, so we'll use our calculator. Oof, that is okay. Alright, so we get x squared equals... I want to keep this as a fraction, I think. I want to keep this fraction, because, yeah, it comes out to be 11.33333, but instead, I think I just want to keep it as 34 thirds. Keep the exact answer. And now all we have to do is take the square root of both sides. So I'm just going to type into my calculator square root of 34 divided by 3. So it looks, you can see that, it looks just like that. And when I hit enter, I get that x is approximately, remember we use these squiggly equals sign to mean approximate, and we are rounding to the nearest hundredth. So 3.37, because remember this is tenths and this is hundredths. Okay, and there you have it. Are we done? No, we are not done, because remember this is plus or minus. Plus or minus, so maybe I should have made that a little. Plus or minus 3.37. Yeah, thought we were done. I almost had you. But yes, plus or minus. Okay, cool. Nice review from yesterday, or last lesson. Okay, now on to what we have for today. Today, solving quadratic equations. I think you see a theme here. All of chapter 9 is about solving quadratic equations, just in different ways. So, 9.2, we did solving quadratic equations by graphing. 9.3, last time we did solving quadratic equations by using square roots, and now we are solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. This is magical. Oh, magic. So yes, how can you derive a formula that can be used to write the solutions of any quadratic equation in standard form? The quadratic formula is. Okay. Alrighty. So, you have the learning target. I know what the discriminant and the quadratic formula are. And our success criteria, you can interpret the discriminant and solve equations using the quadratic formula. So this is what we're aiming to learn, and this is how you know if you've hit the target or not. Have you hit the learning target or not? If you can interpret and solve equations and the discriminant, then yes, you have hit the learning target. Okay, so let's jump right into it. What is the quadratic formula? Well, the quadratic formula is this red box right here, so please put this in your notes. Pause the video if you'd like, put it in your notes. Now, this is big and this is ugly. I don't expect you to memorize it, but here is an easy way to memorize it. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I didn't have to look at it. I didn't even have to look at it to be able to remember that. So, if you want an easy way to remember the quadratic formula, sing the Jack in the Box Cranky song. and then you can remember it. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And of course, when we say b, a, c, a, when we talk about all those things, those are coming from ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's where these letters are coming from. We're going to use these coefficients. Remember that word, the letters, or excuse me, the numbers in front of the variables. We can use these coefficients to plug into our quadratic formula. Okie dokie. So, yeah, let's see an example of how it works using the quadratic formula. Here we go. So remember, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b minus b all over 2a. There we go. Anytime I have a problem where I need the quadratic formula, I write it down first. So, and in fact, let's not box it, because that's how we do it. Yes, yeah, and I like to put some hearts around it, so that I know, hey, this is important, and we're going to be using it a lot. Okay, there we go. Hearts are completed. So now, we're gonna write this again, but now we're gonna fill in the blanks. So remember, we have 2, -5, 3. So here is A, here is B, and here is C. And in fact, actually, let's write it this way. A equals 2, B equals -5, and C equals 3. Like that, so it's nice and easy to see. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to put these numbers in here. So, x equals -b. And b's are, so -b, -5, plus or minus the square root of b squared. So we're going to put that in parentheses. Minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 3. All over 2 times a, which is 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Mrs. Dodge, that's really ugly. Mrs. Dodge, I don't like this. Mrs. Dodge, I want to go outside because I've been stuck inside for so long. I feel you. I feel you on that. Don't worry. We can clean this up. We're going to clean this up, and then I'll show you how to plug it into a calculator. So remember, when I have negative, these come together and become positive. So I really just have 5 up here. Plus or minus, what's 25, or excuse me, what's -5 squared? Just kind of said it by accident. 25, and then let's do this. 4 times 2 times 3 is 24. So 25 minus 24. All over, what's 2 times 2? Well, that's 4. So already it's looking better. It's looking much better already. I can make this look even better. So I have x equals 5 plus or minus 25 minus 24 is 1 over 4. And then wait a minute, the square root of 1 is 1. So now I have 5 plus or minus 1 all over 4. And so remember, like I told you last lesson, anytime we have this plus or minus right here, we're going to want to split it into 2 different equations. So I have x equals 5 plus 1 over 4, and x equals 5 minus 1 over 4. So 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 over 4. 5 minus 1 is 4, so that's 4 over 4. That's just 1. And 6 over 4 is 1 and 1/2, 1.5? Yeah, 1.5. You can write it like this, or you can write it like this, whatever you want. So, and our final answers are right here. 1.5 and 1. So, this looks complicated. Let me show you another way. Maybe a little bit easier of a way. Here is Desmos. I have typed in the quadratic formula right here. X equals negative b. I put plus instead of plus or minus because it won't let you do that, so we're just going to have to manually change it from a plus to a minus each time, but that's okay. This needs to be b squared. There we go. Okay. So now if I just take all of these and I change, remember, b was negative 5. So I'm going to change all the b's to negative 5s. A was 2, so I'm going to change all the a's to 2. And C was 3. Look at that. 1.5. And then if I change this to a minus, 1. I get 1 and 1.5. So, make sure that you write this out for me on your homework and on tests. I know we're not having tests for the remainder of this year, but be sure that for homework and tests and things, you are writing this out for me. Don't just put 1 and... Don't just put 1 and 1.5. Like, what? No, I don't... How did you get that? I don't know. So make sure that you are writing this down for me. But yeah, you can just stick it all in the calculator if you want. That's what we have calculators for. It's a good idea to be able to reduce it yourself like this. Some of them are going to get ugly, and some of them are going to have decimals, and some of them are not going to be nice. So, Desmos, or winding it down yourself like this. Whichever way you want to do it, I don't mind. As long as you give me this. Whether it be a screenshot of Desmos, or you actually writing it out like this, I want it. Okay, let's see if we were right. Yeah, 3/2, that's the same thing as 1.5, and 1. Yay! Good. Oh yes, and of course we can always check by plugging it in. Always check. That's an optional, always an optional step. Okay, more information. So remember our learning target mentioned the discriminant. The discriminant. Okay, so we're going to talk about what that is now. The discriminant is the b squared minus 4ac. This is the discriminant right here. So it's the thing under the square root sign. There we go. It's the thing under the square root sign. And the discriminant is very important because remember last lesson, if we have 2 x-intercepts, we have 2 solutions. 1 x-intercept means 1 solution. No x-intercepts means no solution. We learned that on 2 lessons ago. We learned that in 9.2. And in 9.3, we learned that if we had x squared equals d, and d was positive, we had 2 solutions. If d was equal to 0, we had 1 solution. And if d was less than 0, we had no solution. So, think of this, the d that we talked about last lesson, think of that like your discriminant. So, if the discriminant is bigger than 0, you have 2 solutions. If the discriminant is equal to 0, you have 1 solution. And if the discriminant is less than 0, you have no solution. A lot like what we learned about last lesson. So, if the discriminant is positive, 2, equal to 0, 1, negative, 0. So that's why this discriminant can be so helpful, because if you just want to know if something has a solution, why go through the entire quadratic formula only to find out, oh yeah, there's no real solutions. Instead, we can just look at the discriminant, get things done a little bit faster. So, make sure that you have this box written down, and hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea to write that down either. Pause the video, make sure that you have written down at least this box and more if you want to, and then unpause the video so that we can move on. Alrighty, example 3, determining the number of solutions. And remember, that's what the discriminant does for us. The discriminant literally determines the number of solutions for us by saying, hey, greater than 0, 2 solutions, equal to 0, 1 solution, negative, no solutions. So all we have to do is we're going to look at b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac. If it's positive, 2 solutions. 0, 1 solution. Negative, no solution. Real, no real solution. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna get a equals, remember there's an imaginary 1 right there. B equals 8, and C equals negative 3. And now we're gonna plug those in right here. So B equals 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. So this is 64, let's see, minus 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times negative 3. So this is minus negative 12. Remember, minus minus makes positive. 64 plus 12, 64 plus 12 is 76. 76 is positive. So we have 2 solutions. And in fact, if I had more space, I want us to write 2 real solutions. Put a box around that. There we go. 2 real solutions. Okay, next. Ooh, this is not in standard form. Careful. You might be tempted to say A is 9, B is 6, C is 1. No. No. Careful. We need to be in standard form. So, minus 6x, minus 6x, and now we have 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. So now we can look at, that's a 9. I know it looks like an A, but A is 9, B is negative 6, and C is 1. There we go. So now, if B is negative 6 squared minus 4 times A is 9 times C is 1. So now, negative 6 squared, 36. Oh, can't see. And 4 times 9 is 36 times 1 is 36. So minus 36. Oh my goodness. That is equal to 0. And when the discriminant is 0, we have 1 real solution. 1 real solution. If this were to be negative, we would have no real solution. If it were to be positive, we'd have 2 real solutions. So this is actually, we box our answers. Let's put a little cloud around, because that helps. Okay, alrighty. So there you have it. That is how to interpret the discriminant. Let's see if we were right. Aha, 76. Greater than 0, 2 real solutions. 0, 1 real solution. Boom! Yay. Okay. Alright. Bill is confused. This is Bill. Bill is confused. Don't be like Bill. Ask questions. Don't sit around scratching your head. Ask questions, because I'm here and I want to help you. So remember, office hours. Yeah, I'm gonna write it down every time, Tuesday through Friday. 12:30 to 3. Please come talk to me during office hours if you have questions, please. Okay, your homework looks like a lot, but remember, you're just plugging numbers in, and it can be as simple as putting them in Desmos and hitting enter. So it looks like a lot, but it's not too bad. 6 questions like example 1, 4 questions like example 3. And if you have questions with any of them, I'm right here to help you. Okay. And your launch for today comes from Reese Witherspoon. With the right kind of coaching and determination, you can accomplish anything. This sounds cheesy, and it sounds like, oh yeah, I can accomplish anything, I can do whatever, oh yeah, impossible, wada. I know that it might look like that, but the older I get, the more I realize, with the right kind of coaching, if you have the right people on your team, and so you have the determination to want to do something, and you have the right kind of coaching, you have the people that know how to help you, you really can do anything. Like, so you can't just say, like, oh, I can be an astronaut just based on, like, my own determination. Like, yes. I mean, even then, maybe, but you can't build a rocket yourself. So you do need the right kind of coaching. You need others, and you need a good, strong determination to do what you want to do. So, if there's something that you really want to do, something that you think you can't accomplish, who could coach you through it? Are you really that determined if you're going to give up that easy? So, there's something you want to do? Do it. You want to record your first song? Do it. Find the right kind of coaching. Go talk to the choir director. Go talk to somebody that knows about recording music. If you want to publish a book, get the right kind of coaching. Talk to an author. Talk to a publisher. See who can help you with it. Like, if you want to do something, you want to make your dreams happen, do it. Grab the bull by the horns and just go. Do it. So yes, that is my launch for you. A very passionate launch. Take it with you as you go throughout your day. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thanks for watching. Bye.